Hey guys, it's Hannah and I'm here today with my April wrap-up and my May TBR. So, I am so sorry that this is so late, guys. A little thing called ACOWAR came out and it completely sucked me into its glorious black hole. So, I was like waiting and waiting for it to come out, and then it finally came out and I was like, I need to film these videos before this comes out, and I didn't do it. And then the book came out, and then nothing else mattered but that book. So, I've got some catching up to do, and I apologize, but I am coming back around. Let's just get into it, okay? To start off with my April wrap-up, I did not read a lot of books. I kind of fell into a reading slump, and then at the end of the month, I was like into an anticipation of ACOWAR that I didn't want to start anything new because I knew that it was just gonna like fly out the door as soon as ACOWAR came out. So I devoured a lot of comic books, and I had such a good time doing Dewey's 24-hour readathon. If you guys didn't check it out, one of my videos, a couple videos back, was my TBR video, and I had so much fun. I read through so many comic books. So let's get right on into it. Oh, sorry. I know I keep saying we're getting into it, but another question is that we got our Guardians of the Galaxy Collector Core box. Do you guys want like a recap? Because we filmed an unboxing of it, but my camera card magically ate this video, so it is gone and I can't find it. So do you guys want us to like rebox it up and show you what it was in there, or just go over it and then maybe talk about the movie? Let me know down below, or if you guys just want me to skip the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 box for the Marvel Collector Core. Okay, we're really going to get into the wrap-up this time. So my first comic book or graphic novel that I finished in the month of April is Runaways: The Complete Collection Volume 2. I've been saying that I've been going to read this for the past couple of months, and I never got to it, and then I finally didn't let myself pick up anything else until I finished this series. So I picked this one up. I rated this one a 3.75 out of 5 stars. If you guys have seen before, Runaways, I absolutely adored the first series, and it was like the first volume, it was 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved it. It's got Marvel characters and superheroes, and it's got angsty teenagers, and it was epic, and Volume 2 fell a little flat for me. Volume 2, without giving away any spoilers, there was so much content in this that I like drug through it. I mean, it's like a chunk, like here's like normal volume, like that's a pretty big difference. And it also feels like they're kind of running out of ideas and that they are pulling at threads, and it just felt like you know when you have a favorite season or favorite show and they have like a billion seasons and they just keep making more and they're running out of content, but you don't want it to end because it's your favorite series. That's kind of what this felt like. Like, I didn't want them to stop making it, but they just needed a new fresh angle, because what they're doing right now, I am losing interest and it is dying fast. So I'm anxious to see what Volume 3, or if there's going to be a Volume 3, what that is going to come with this, because I love the concept and I love the storylines, and they could have done something really cool in this, but they didn't. And I'm just like, ugh, like, what are you going to give me next time? Because this was meh, but I still love the series. Next up, one of my most anticipated graphic novels came out on my birthday, which was fantastic, which is Saga. This is Volume 7. I was so excited. I went out and picked it up right away and then devoured it because I absolutely love Saga. It's my favorite graphic novel series of all time. There's some that are like competing for the #1 spot, but Saga still holds on to it. This is a 4 out of 5 stars for me. This one was a lot more serious, so it was like more heavy-hearted, and I liked the other volumes more, but I still really enjoyed this because it is part of the series. I will say though, if you haven't gotten into this series, that it is like a Romeo and Juliet mixed with aliens, and it's like such a cool concept. There's so much potential for this series. But I will forewarn you that this is definitely a rated R series, so I always forget that going into it, and then I see like complete nudity and sex in here, and I'm like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. Like, it sideswipes me every time. So 4 out of 5 stars. I still love the series. Next up, I finished in the month of April is the Deadpool Spider-Man mashup comic, and its title Isn't It Bromantic, and this was hilarious. This was a 4 to 5 stars for me. It was a bit jumpy in some areas that it was kind of hard to follow at first, but Deadpool just goes on antics. He doesn't have like a strong storyline to his character, and especially with there's like pairings. So in this comic book, Deadpool is all about trying to kill Peter Parker because he thinks Peter Parker is awful. But he loves Spider-Man, and he doesn't understand why Spider-Man is so on board with Peter Parker. Deadpool doesn't realize they're the same people. So that was in itself hilarious anecdote in this entire thing. But there's a few things that I loved about this book was that there was a dance contest, which was hilarious. Thorette, or Lady Thor, I call her Thorette, shows up in this, which was also hilarious. There's a double date in here with Spider-Man and Deadpool, and something that I'm not like a huge fan of, but something to note was there was a lot of poop jokes in this. So if that sounds up your alley, I highly recommend checking this out because it was hilarious and fun to read, and it was like made me laugh out loud, and I really enjoy Deadpool comics. So 4 to 5 stars. Next up for the month of April, I picked up Lumberjanes Beware of the Kitten Holly, and this was the first volume. Guys, this is so cute. I loved this. I'm pretty sure I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. It is so cute. It's like Girl Scouts, but like little weirdos doing Girl Scouts, and there's like it's so cute, and like I don't even know how to describe it, guys. So like there's like obviously they were younger girls at a Girl Scout like camp. They're Lumberjanes, and they go on these adventures, and there's like these magical elements, and there's like a sort of imaginary style stuff, and it's so entertaining and cute, and like each girl has like these like quirky abilities, and not like superhuman or anything, but just like they're quirky, and this was just cute. If you guys haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it, and it's like the art style is so cute. It reminds me kind of like Disney princessy, like the way that they're drawn, so like Disney, but it's so cute and adorable, and I think I said so cute about 50 million times. Go check it out if you haven't. This is Lumberjanes Volume 1. Next up, I picked up my only book of the entire month, which was The Cake Therapist by Judith Fertig? Sorry, I just butchered that. This was like I had a high anticipation of this because it is about baking and cakes and magical realism, and I was so excited, and it's beautiful. It's got deckled edges. I was so excited, and this one fell a little flat for me. I think I went into it expecting too much. I rated this a 3.7 out of 5 stars. I loved all of the magical realism. I loved the baking aspects of it. The only thing that really dragged me down with this is they have flashbacks into like the 1800s and early 1900s, and they taught like they splits it up. So every time that I'm like really into like the present day story, they flip back into this like Depression era, and it makes you sad. Like it's like not a fun time to read about, and it just like kind of buzzkilled my sugar high with this book, and I really enjoyed the magical realism aspect of it in the present day, and I wanted the entire book to be like that, and I just wanted the other part to be out of it. Now, I will say that the 1800s or whatever early 1900s story in this does tie back into the main story, and you kind of have that vibe when you're reading it, but you're like, hurry up and show your point, because I don't care about this until I know that it's related to the characters, because you don't find out until the very end how it's connected, but you like get the vibe that you know it's connected. So I didn't think that the payoff really warranted dragging myself through these like those parts of the book in this, because it's probably like half the book. It still was good, and at the end it became a lot more satisfying that I was invested in the 1800s storyline, because the present day people connected into it. That's what made it interesting for me. Otherwise, I didn't care about that part. I will say there is trigger warnings for rape and domestic violence in this though, so if you are sensitive to those topics, I might stray away from it because they do go in quite vivid detail, but I do recommend, like, if you like magical realism, I know that there's not a lot of options and magical realism world with books that, and if I'm wrong, please leave me comments down below and tell me which ones to check out, because I always love recommendations for magical realism. But this one is a good book. I just skipped through those 1,800 pages, and then it's a great book. But 3.75 out of 5 stars as it stands. Next up, I picked up in April Gwenpool. This is volume 2, and I rated this a 4 out of 5 stars. This is just a fun comic book. So Gwenpool is like Deadpool, and her costume is like Spider-Gwen, but I'm not real sure anything about Spider-Gwen, but Gwenpool is a comic book lover who jumped into the world of comic books, and so she does fourth wall breaking, just like Deadpool. She thinks that she can't get hurt, so she thinks that she's like Deadpool because she knows that she's in a comic book, so she can't get hurt. So it doesn't matter if all of these people are shooting at her, or that she's like doing this stupid reckless stuff, because she can't get hurt. She's in a comic book. This is volume 2. It was very entertaining, very like funny. Not as funny as the first one, I'd say, and this one was a little more questionable in the stupid stuff that she does, and I'm like, whoa, are you actually being a hero, or are you actually being a villain? Like, let's rethink this. But it was very entertaining. She loves having a team, which is very unlike Deadpool, and she doesn't actually have a healing factor like Deadpool does, but very funny and very, like, good option. So I recommend checking this one out if you are wanting a fun, fast, and very entertaining read. Next up, I picked up Secret Empire. This is just a short little comic book that I got in the Guardians of the Galaxy box, volume 2, from my Marvel Collector box. Secret Empire, I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. It is a alternate reality where Captain America is with Hydra. If you guys are watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's kind of like that right now, where they're in the alternate universe, except they're not being controlled by a robot lady. But this was really actually good, and I'm like not always a super big fan of these because I don't like to get a lot of meat out of this. Like, they really have to jam pack, and for me to actually be invested in the story, they did really well with this, and this was very entertaining. So like I said, Captain America is working for Hydra, and Hydra sends him into the ice, and he has to pretend to be with the Avengers and be on S.H.I.E.L.D. side, while all trying to bring back Hydra into place, and it really makes you rethink of the entire Marvel universe and what is really happening. And like, I don't like it when they screw with my head like that, but it's very cool to read about. So 4 out of 5 stars for Secret Empire. And last but not least, I picked up The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. This is volume 1, and this is one of the cutest, best comic books that I have ever read, and I am absolutely in love with this series. I highly recommend you go check this out. Let me tell you about it. If you guys don't know, Squirrel Girl is a badass, basically. So she is part human, part squirrel. She has the might of squirrels. She also has cute little sidekick squirrel that like sort of follows her around, and she can talk to squirrels. But so she has squirrel blood in her. She's got the proportional speed and strength of a squirrel. So she's pretty strong and pretty awesome. And this was fantastic. She is such a good role model for young girls. She talks about going to college and being in computer science, and there is not a lot of girls in computer science, so I loved that aspect of it. And she is just like adorable and cute and hilarious, and she like wants everything to be good, and so she doesn't always have to use her strength to win battles. She will like talk her way out of battles to convince the bad guys not to fight her, which is hilarious. And one of the best perks that I had in this one that I absolutely adored. What I love about Marvel Comics is they can really tie it in all together. So in past issues, Deadpool refers to this guide that he has given Squirrel Girl, and without Trevor ever reading this, he knew all about this guidebook that he has given Squirrel Girl. So let me find a page here. And it says, Deadpool's Guide to Supervillains, and it's got Deadpool's, like, little commentary on the Deadpools and gives her tips and things, and I just love that. Like, it's hilarious. Like, Craven the Hunter, he's Russian nobleman really into hunting big game. Says he's the best hunter, and yeah, he's really actually good. Hunts Spider-Man a lot, I guess, question mark. Died, but he's back now. No big deal. Is that like an actual lion face his vest is made out of, question mark, question mark. Do lions even work that way? Call him Krabby, he loves it. Like, there's just such antics between these two, and it's like, I love it. I can't wait to pick up the next one. This made me smile through the entire thing. I absolutely loved it. Like, please go read this because this was amazing. And that is all for my April wrap up. I told you guys I did a lot of comic books. I was not in the big book reading mood. But let's get into my May TBR. So why don't we kick off my May TBR with the book that has been keeping me quite distracted from all of my responsibilities of being a normal human, which is A Court of Wings and Ruin. And I have taken the last 4 days off because I'm a little afraid that I'm going to finish it too fast. And everybody's been like finishing it and I'm like, I don't want to finish it. I'm not ready to wait another year. Because if you guys have been living under a rock and you haven't picked this up and you haven't looked at it, this is in here. Now I don't know if this is a side series with the side characters that I thought was happening with the Court of, not Nightmares, Court of Dreams. Court of Dreams? Is that right? Or if it's like continuing on the story, but I can't wait, and I have been absolutely loving this. I am on chapter 53 right now, so I'm like 450 pages in, and it's only 700 pages, and I know it's going to end too fast, but I've been loving this, and I am filming a vlog style review for you guys, which I'm having a lot of fun doing, so hopefully you guys like it too. But I am definitely finishing this one in May, and it's gonna be like a highlight of the year, I can already tell, because Sarah J. Maas and A Court of Thorns and Roses is one of my favorite all-time series, so I love this thing. Next up, when I went and picked up that one, I had to pick up Always and Forever Laura Jean. This is an adorable series by Jenny Han. This is about a girl who writes letters to her past loves and she puts them in her hat box. And her little sister finds all these letters that she has written and sealed and addressed, and she sends them out. And so, of course, Laura Jean is freaking out because she doesn't want all of her past loves to know all these things and that she still has feelings for one of them. So she starts to date this guy to throw the rest of these guys off of her path, and it just becomes a cute contemporary about baking and families and lovers, well, boyfriends. I'm excited to pick this one up. I think it's going to be the pick-me-up that I need after Court of Wings of Ruin, because I've heard that A Court of Wings of Ruin will make me cry. So this is my pick-me-up afterwards, and I'm excited to get to this one as well. And if that is not enough to pick me up, I am picking up the second volume of the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, and this is volume 2. I don't know if I already said that. I am so excited to get this one. You guys just heard how much I absolutely adore the first volume. I don't think this one will disappoint either. Next up is another one that comes highly recommended to me from Trevor, and he said this one is absolutely hilarious. I didn't get to this one during my Dewey's 24-hour readathon, so I plan on picking it up now. It is Deadpool, the Temporary Insanitation. It's got Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Iron Fist mixed with Deadpool, and it's going to be hilarious antics, and I'm excited to get to this one with Deadpool. I love any mashups with Deadpool because his personality just pops off the screen even more. Plus he breaks the fourth wall and the characters are like, what are you talking about? And he like can break the fourth wall, so it's great fun reading Deadpool with other Marvel characters. Next up is a new comic book series that I haven't started yet, but I've been wanting to. It's Alex and Ada. Ada is an android, and Ada is an android who I think Alex falls in love with, and I think it's going to be like a romantic robot story, and I think I'm going to love it, so I'm excited to get to this one too. And last but not least, I'm picking up Chew Volume 12. Again, this is the last one in the series, actual last one, and this is about Tony Chu, who is a Ceviopath who can tell where things have originated from what he like chews on them, and he can tell their story, so he works with dead bodies to figure out how they are murdered, and that is how the start of his story starts off. I highly recommend picking up this series. It is very unique and very entertaining and not as gross as it sounds, but it's pretty cool. So that is my last one for my May TBR. I know I'm not pulling from my TBR jar, wherever it is back here, because I'm not sure what type of mood I'm going to be in, and I haven't actually read my book thief that I pulled from last month because I fell into a little bit of a reading slump. So I'll either pick that one back up or I'll put that one back in my jar and re-pull. So next month. So I will let you guys know what I think about all of these. What are you guys reading for the month of May? I'm guessing everybody's reading A Court of Wings and Ruin, but what is going to pick you up after the reading slump or the drought that ACOWAR will leave you in? Let me know down below and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!